to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back, for it's root, root, root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. What a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes. You're out at the old ball game. Yeah, what a way to start the day with a little All-American baseball, right? Well, there's a reason for that. Yep, because today is a birthday of that Spalding guy. Yeah, come on. If you've ever done any kind of sport and used any kind of ball, you've heard of, wait a minute, what do they officially call it? Oh, it's called Spalding Baseball Day. Apparently, the Spalding Company was started by a brother and a brother-in-law, or 2 brothers. Yeah, just, like a whim. It was just a little sporting goods company. Ended up Albert Spalding, born in, like, I don't know, before 1900, like the 1850s. And he played for, yeah, that's right. That's one of the other things I thought was so cool. He played for the Boston Red Stockings and the Chicago White Stockings back in the early 1900s. Aren't you glad they changed their names to Sox? Stockings sounds stupid, doesn't it? Yeah. Hey, I'm a Chicago White Stocking. No, you're not. You play for the White Sox. Good morning, Ginny. Good morning, Stephen. Good morning, Indy.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here. It's okay to say hi, so I know who's here watching. Anyway, this morning we start out saying happy birthday to Albert Spalding and his brother. It was not his birthday, but together they started a sporting goods store, which gave us Spalding baseballs and every other kind of Spalding piece of material you could possibly imagine. Here's to the Spalding brothers.
Gloves. Mostly you think of ball gloves as
Mm.
Spalding.
They also came up with the first official baseball glove. That's true. First official baseball and first official baseball glove. Those are both attributed to the Spaldings.
Also
Yeah.
called a mitt.
Yeah, I had a mitt. And I remember for a while, all I had was a catcher's mitt.
Oh.
And it was really hard to play ball with a catcher's mitt for me. Really hard. That's what my grandson plays. That's his position. He's like the catcher, and he loves his position on the team. I don't, by the way, know how Torrance finished in the Little League, World League thing, but how wonderful just to even have them, be represented there. Let's see what's happening today. Oh, this is so cool. It is Pierce Your Ears Day. My ears are pierced. I did not pierce my ears until I was like, I don't know, my mid 40s, early 50s, something like that. I mean, like really late because I was chicken, but I kept losing my good earrings. So I pierced my ears so I wouldn't lose my earrings. And guess what? I still lose my earrings, but my ears are pierced. So at least I know where my earrings go. I don't get confused anymore, trying to stick them in my arm or, this is where Anyway, the reason this is cool is because, as you know, my daughter has a jewelry company. She makes all my jewelry. And I was talking to her day before yesterday, and she was telling me that they're having a piercing party at her warehouse. How cool is that? She's hired a piercer to come in, and when people buy jewelry, like the thing is to have like more than one hole in your ear, I guess, still. So they can have their ear pierced and she can sell them their new gold jewelry. Ba-bam. Such a deal. I guess people were really excited about that possibility. I don't know. I mean, she doesn't have things that you would wear anywhere else, I don't think. I don't know. Piercing party anyway. Piercing party. Woohoo. It is Bicentennial Day. Bicentennial Day. I looked it up, folks.
Oh.
And even though I found it, I still don't understand what it is. Some kind of yell that somebody copied and now they do it for football. I don't know. If you can understand that stuff, you're a better person than I because I couldn't get it.
It sounds like you're saying bicentennial.
But I'm not. It's bicentennial. Oh, it does say like it does sound like I'm saying bicentennial, but I'm saying bicentennial day. So maybe it is a play on words. I don't it didn't say
Don't you
anything
yell at the
about that.
bison 10 times?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just says 10 battle yells that were picked up by football. I didn't get it.
Battle yells by 10. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. It's also much easier to understand. It's National Hummingbird Day. Now, there are like 150, 160 different species of hummingbirds just in the United States.
So does that mean we have hummingbird for lunch or dinner? I mean, it's hard to get enough for dinner, right?
Well, you have to get the bigger variety. Some of them are like 8 inches.
Oh yeah, they have the hummingbird breast packages.
Yeah,
Okay.
get hummingbird wings. Hummingbirds in the world are just found in the Americas, North and South America. Yeah, that's all. We get them all. And there are like over 300 varieties, and they're so interesting. Their little wings go 100 times a minute. That's what that noise is that you hear when you hear a hummingbird. It's their wings flapping in it, and they flap like 60 to 100.
They're humming.
No, the humming is the wings going
this thing
60.
goes, It's happy birds.
Happy birds.
And there are no hummingbirds in China?
There are no hummingbirds in China. That's what it says. It says in Ecuador and Brazil, in South America and in North America. And Ginny loves her hummingbirds, and Stephen said to tell you that those are quails you're talking about. Well, they're similar. They are similar, and you can eat those. They're a little bit bigger than hummingbirds. 60 times a minute. Birds catch up to 1,200 or more. Birds up to 1,200 or more.
They catch that many bugs?
Oh, that's how many places they stop in the course of one day. And here's what was really cool. They're the smallest migrating bird in the world, and they can go like 500 miles in a day just with those teeny little wings of theirs. Now, I dug a little deeper on hummingbirds. Can we talk about hummingbirds? Because these are very near and dear to my heart. In most cultures, the hummingbird is a messenger. And the hummingbird is a messenger between here and the other world. And many cultures, bless you, many cultures fully believe that hummingbirds bring messages from the other side to here. Many people claim that when a loved one dies, they see a hummingbird. That hummingbirds, wait a minute. Hummingbirds, oh, put a little light on the subject. Hummingbirds are my personal messengers to the other side. I have had so many weird experiences with hummingbirds. Can I tell you just one? Okay. This one was kind of cool. As you know, hummingbirds, they move a lot. Did you know they can't walk, by the way? They don't have like little teeny feet to walk on. So they either fly or they perch or they can like skip sideways, but they can't just. Okay. So they don't usually perch. They're usually moving all the time, right? Well, when I lived in Torrance in an apartment on the top floor, my bedroom window was just about even with the telephone wire. That wasn't like right in front of my window, but not too far away. And one day, 2 hummingbirds perched on the wire. There wasn't a tree around. They just perched on the wire, literally in front of my bedroom window. And I got the distinct impression, I don't care how weird you think this is, it happened, that they were giving me messages from the other side. From my sister-in-law, who had passed away of cancer the year before, and my well, in Yiddish we call it machatenim, her son-in-law's mother, who passed away at her funeral. It was very weird. It was the two of them sitting on the wire. My niece had been trying to get pregnant for about 6 years and hadn't gotten pregnant. But my sister-in-law was there to tell me that A, she was fine, B, she was hanging out with Barbara and they were having a great time. 3, my niece was pregnant, and 4, it was going to be a girl. That was the message I got. Loud and clear, right? So I called my niece and I said, "Okay, I know you're going to think this is weird, but here's what just happened. I am just as blown away as you are, but I had to share this information with you." She said, "Well, that doesn't really make too much sense because they've been trying in vitro and it wasn't working, so they were giving it up. They were leaving the following week to go up to Canada for a week, and thank you, but yeah, not so much." So they went up to Canada the week later, and they were gone for a week. So 2 weeks later, she calls me up, so excited. "Auntie Sandy, you are not going to believe this. I'm pregnant." And I didn't say anything. She said, "Aren't you even excited?" I said, "Told you so." And we both started laughing. She said, "Do you really think it's a girl?" I said, "I don't think anything, sweetheart. I'm just telling you what your mother asked me to tell you." Yeah. Well, my niece, yes, it was a girl. My niece, Ella, I call her Schmella. Ella is now 7 years old. Yeah. And so beautiful and so adorable and so loved. Okay, so that's my favorite hummingbird story. There's more. Um, here it is cardinals, messages from loved ones, not hummingbirds. You don't think it's weird that a woman died at a funeral? I think it's more than weird. That's a whole different story. But yes, my niece's mother-in-law died at her mother's funeral. It was the weirdest experience I have ever had. Yes, it is weird. Yeah. Believe it. I've had so many visitors. And I can remember my niece calling, and I said, my niece and I have a lot of this going on together. She called me and she said, "Auntie Sandy." And I said, "Oh, sweetheart, I'm so sorry." And she said, what do you mean?" I said, "About your grandma. I'm so sorry." She said, "How do you know? I'm just calling to tell you." I said, "She was just here." Okay. I haven't seen any hummingbirds in a while, so those of you who are close to me, you're safe.
Cardinals, here it's actually chickens who are the messengers. So.
Cardinals and chickens?
Yeah, here it's chickens that bring us the messages.
Indy says, "You can have the cardinals, I can have the hummingbirds. He's got the chickens." Speaking of which, I'm not sure how I'm going to find out for sure until I actually see some action in the pen. But we're really starting to think that maybe Billie Jean really is a rooster. Just saying. Billie Jean walks around like cock of the walk, so to speak. Yeah, I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm going to pick up chicken feed today. I'm going to ask them if there's anything we can do to find out for sure. And I think they're just going to tell us, watch and see what happens. But I don't want to watch. I don't know what we'll do then.
Most likely to say if he crows, he's probably a rooster.
Yeah, they're going to say if he crows, he's probably a rooster. You're right. But you told me you read that there were chickens who do that. I don't know. All right, what else? It's also World Coconut Day. I mean, did you ever make a bra out of coconuts and make like a little costume? Yeah. There's coconut bras. There's coconut oil. Did you ever put coconut oil on your skin? Like when you're sunbathing? Oh, it feels so good. Except it's really greasy and it's supposed to be great for your hair. So I got some at Trader Joe's because they have really good coconut oil. Is it oil? It's like more like cream. Yeah. So I scooped it up and I like put it in my hair and massaged my head. And I don't know. And there've been so many songs written about coconuts. This one's my favorite. The lime in the coconut. I don't think I could sit and eat a coconut like I've seen people do. But seriously, I really like just a little hint of coconut and things. I love the smell of it. So like I have coconut scented shampoo. Thank you. I almost lost that word too. I did my usual thing and I printed out 4,000 interesting facts about coconuts. Coconut trees cannot grow far from shore because, unlike other plants, how they reproduce is the coconut itself falls off the tree, gets into the water, and it floats all over the place. And that's how it like starts to grow again. That's how it gives birth. Yeah, it does it itself. What else?
You know what's unusual about this song?
What is it? They say the same thing over and over and over again.
Kind of, well, you're on the right track. It's only one chord. We played this last week here.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
one chord in the whole song?
Yeah, one chord song. Yeah, it's just a one chord song. Yeah.
Okay, so there are over 100 species of coconuts. It used to be spelled coca, C-O-C-A, coconut. Now it's just coconut. It used to be the leading vegetable oil until we got a lot of soybean oil, which is not as healthy, by the way. Coconut is as healthy for your dogs as it is for you, which means it's very healthy. This song, Coconut, by singer-songwriter Harry Nilsson, was number 66 in the 1972 Billboard.
But, speaking of Harry Nilsson, how about that Van Morrison?
How about Van Morrison?
So you think Harry will let us listen to his song here this morning? Or?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so.
What Van did?
Yeah, so it wasn't Van Morrison who did it, by the way. It was Warner Records who did it.
Well,
if you've been trying to find The Morning Coffee by Sandye from August 31st, you won't find it. They took it off the air, whatever you call it, because Warner Records didn't like that we played like
Crazy Love.
7 seconds of Crazy Love by Van Morrison.
Yeah.
So they like pulled my whole show.
What else did we find out about Van Morrison?
Van Morrison is like, he's a little crazy. He's writing protest songs about things that I don't think anybody should be protesting.
We're protesting.
We're protesting Van Morrison right now, and Warner Records for doing that to us. Yeah. Today is the day that Christy, I can never pronounce her name properly. McAuliffe. Yeah, she was McAuliffe. She was the teacher who was chosen to be the first non-astronaut to go up into space. Yeah, it was so sad because she was blown up in the space shuttle in the big Challenger explosion. Yeah, so we remember Christy today. Yeah. Okay, but on a happier note, happy birthday to Keanu Reeves, who's done a lot of good on this world, aside from being a really cool actor, and Salma Hayek, who I think is absolutely beautiful, beautiful actress. Theodore Roosevelt. He was Theodore Roosevelt. That's not his birthday. Here's why we remember him. This was the day that he gave his first speech where he said, "Walk softly, but carry a big stick." And he wasn't even president at the time. He was actually just a candidate for vice president. And that's the first time he used that saying. And then after he became president, he used it all the time. Walk softly and carry a big stick. I think that might be good advice for a whole lot of us, especially those of us who aren't big enough to make a lot of noise. A big stick is a good idea. Today is the day in 2005. Let's see, he was born in 1935. So he's younger than I am now. Bob Denver. You remember Bob Denver?
Rocky Mountain High.
No. Bob Denver, not John Denver.
Bob
Denver.
Okay.
John Denver was Rocky Mountain High. Bob Denver was Gilligan's Island. He was Gilligan. And he was, what was his name? Okay, help me with this. What was his name on the Dobie Gillis show? Come
Oh,
on, somebody has to remember.
I do.
Maynard G. Krebs. I'm sorry, I shouted it out, but I just remembered it. This was on Gilligan's Island. I wonder what he was like in real life, because he sure was a goofy guy on every show he was in. I loved that show. And I loved Dobie Gillis. And I remember when we first moved to California and we were shopping for houses, um, there was Sheila, what's her name, who played Dobie Gillis's girlfriend. She lived in the neighborhood where we were looking at houses, and we ran into her. And she became like a council person or a representative, maybe it was a state rep, yeah, of that neighborhood. She was a big deal. Yeah. Um okay, in 1982, Fleetwood Mac, I was going to say this was maybe their first show, and who opened for them was Men at Work. Or maybe that was just coincidence that there was a big show and Men at Work opened for them. And I'm mentioning that because next weekend, Indy and I are going to the Redondo Beach Music Festival. I can't. So, maybe I'll do the show from, well, I will definitely do it from my son's house in Hermosa. It's just up the street. But we're going to see Men at Work live. That's one of the Men at Work are. I made a list somewhere. I thought, here, I made a list of all the people who are going to be on the day that we're going to be there. Counting Crows, Fits and the Tantrums, Men at Work, The Wallflowers, Cam, Philosophant, Sugar Ray, English Beat, Yachtly Crew. I mean, there's like gazillions.
They changed the name of the band.
What band?
Men at Work.
What is it now?
Old Men at Work.
Old Men at Work. Yeah. Okay. So that's why I'm going, because Dylan's kid.
Yeah,
What's his name?
well, let's call him Jacob.
Jacob Dylan. Yeah, I knew it was Dylan's kid. That's pretty good for me to know who's in a group. Oh, you saw Fleetwood Mac live? That would have been fun. I don't think I've ever seen them live. Bob Denver, you met him at SeaWorld. That is so cool. I don't know. If you actually had a conversation with him, I'd love to know if he was like weird and crazy or if he was just like a normal guy. Because he sure played weird characters. What else? Oh, this is the day in 1965 when the Beatles' Help album went gold. Was there any song you didn't like on that album? I'm sorry, was there any Beatles song you didn't like? Because I have yet to hear a Beatles song where I didn't think, yeah, I like that. This makes me feel 16 again. So much younger than today. I never needed anybody's help in any way. I wonder who's gonna like cancel our show for this song.
I wonder if the Beatles wouldn't do that to us.
Okay, so I want this in the background while I'll tell you, because I don't want to play the song. In 1990, because I listened and I didn't like it. In 1995, Michael Jackson had a #1 hit with a song called "You Are Not Alone." You didn't hear of it? I never heard of it either. But it made it into the Guinness Book of World Records because it was the first song to debut on Billboard hits as a #1 song. Oh, you're going to put it on anyway, aren't you? I never heard of it. And then when I listened to it, I mean, it's a song. It's just a song. It's just kind of, it's like if you were 15 and you had a 16-year-old boyfriend, it was the kind of song where you'd want to put your arms around his neck and he'd put his arms around your waist. And it'd be the only way that he could hold you that close without getting in trouble. And you would sway back and forth and pretend you were dancing when he was really just nibbling on your neck and you were getting really excited. You remember that? It's that kind of song. It's like really, what was the purpose of this song other than that? I don't get it. And it opened at #1. Oh well. Hey, I am totally enamored with today's word art. Can we talk about that a little bit, please? Yeah. Please, if you haven't seen the word art, go either to the page Word Art by Sandye or go to not web, our Facebook group Facebook page. What do I say? What do I do? I know. I still need to change the name. We still need to have a celebration about reaching 1,000. Don't bug me about it, okay? I can't decide what to do. Yeah. Anyway, here's the deal. The word art today. Oh, Ginny, you do love it because you already said you did. I saw your comment. The word art today is about point of view, which is one of my very favorite things to talk about in the whole wide world. Because were it not for point of view, we would all be exactly the same. But every single one of us, every one of us, even those people that you usually agree with, we all have different points of view. Why? Because nobody can stand where you're standing and see exactly what you see. Not possible because only your eyes are looking that direction. So, where you stand on the planet, your history, your ancestry, your feelings, your experiences, those all help form who you are. You see what you see because of your point of view. So today's word art, by the way, I do this thing at seminars where I take a mug. I just take a regular coffee mug and I call up two people and I have them stand across from each other and I stand between them holding the mug like this. And I ask them to describe the mug one at a time. One person sees this and says it's rounded and it's open at the top and you can put stuff inside of it and it's got a handle on the side. The other person says, well, there's no handle. And then for the next couple of minutes, we have a discussion about whether or not there's a handle. Person number two can see it very clearly and there's no handle. But person number one keeps insisting it has a handle. They're both right. And today's word art shows that depending on where you're standing, the number 6 can look like a 6 or a 9. Who's right? You're both right. So, with that in mind, could you go ahead and be a little more tolerant of people today and just get that from where they're standing, they are right? Yeah. But here's the most important part of today's lesson that we didn't really talk about in the word art. Sometimes, in fact, most of the time, rather than trying to get the person with that point of view to come over to your point of view, you have to be willing to let go of your point of view for just a moment and go over and see the world through their eyes. Find out why they're feeling that way. You don't have to agree with them. In fact, it may give you more ammunition to explain to them why you might be right and they might want to just step over a little bit and look at it another way. It's the way we end wars, folks, is by finding out what's going on over there, what's going on over here, and then coming to a common conclusion. It's not easy. No one said it was easy, but it's doable. A sip, a smile, be the coconut. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye. I didn't think you'd want to